Hey guys, and happy Tuesday. I hope your day is going well. Mine is. So today I'm going to talk to you about donating blood. If you get a little squeamish, just hang in there. I'm not going to talk in great detail about it, but I will say the words blood and needle a couple of times. So just hang in there. So there are a lot of great reasons to give blood, and there are a lot of great benefits of giving blood. There's the wonderful feeling of just doing something charitable for somebody else that's really good, and then there's the fact that 1 pint of blood can help save up to 3 people's lives. Now, I'm not an expert by any means, and I don't really know how that part of it works, but it's pretty awesome. The requirements that the Red Cross has for people who want to donate are you have to be at least 17 years old and weigh at least 110 pounds and be healthy. Now, by healthy, they don't mean being in like peak physical condition, but like if you have a cold or if you have the flu, then you might want to stay home that day and reschedule your donation. And there are 2 ways to find a blood drive going on near you. There's you can go on the website for the American Red Cross and put in your zip code and find a donation site near you, or if you're driving around town and you see one of their sandwich boards that says blood drive at this place at this on this date from this time to this time, and you can do it, then you can just walk in and do it. It's really a pretty easy process. However, if you do have time to prepare, then they recommend the week of your donation, or at least the day before of your donation, eating some iron-rich foods like spinach or red meat or beans or nuts. Any of these things in combination even. And definitely hydrating. Like when I gave blood on Friday, I drank a lot of water the day before and a lot of water the day of the donation. That helps the process go a little bit faster and helps it not be as painful. And when I say painful, it's not really that much pain. Like it's like stubbing your toe pain. So it's like not a big amount of pain. So the process of giving blood is pretty simple. You go in and you sign in, whether you're a walk-in or you've scheduled the appointment. And if you don't know your blood type, that's fine, because they can figure it out. And once you give blood, you'll get one of these donor cards, which will have your name, your blood type, and the region on it. Like, I'm in the Carolina region, so every time I donate blood, my blood stays within North and South Carolina. It doesn't go other places very often. If you are more interested in donating blood and your blood staying within the state, there are a lot of states that have their own blood banks that you can donate to. Like, I know Carolina has one, and I know Michigan has one. And I'm not sure what their requirements are, but they're probably pretty similar to this. But the process of giving blood, you walk in, you sign in, and then they have you read through a packet of information that gives you the requirements for giving blood, and they give you a list of medications that if you're on it, then you shouldn't be giving blood, and just some other information that you'll need to have for the process of donating blood. And when you're finished with that, and when they're ready for you, a nurse will take you back to this little cubicle area they'll have set up, and they'll ask you basic questions like your name and your birth date and how tall you are and how much you weigh, and they'll take your temperature and your blood pressure, and then they'll do the finger poke, which personally I find the finger poke to be the most painful part of the donation process. I mean, basically they're stabbing you in the finger with a needle to check the iron in your blood. Something that I have experienced in the past is that my iron would be too low to donate. But what I didn't know, and this is kind of a pro tip, is if your fingers are cold, or if you tend to have low iron readings, if you rub your fingers on your pants before they do the finger poke, then that will help your iron reading be just a little bit higher. You need an iron rating of, I think, 12.5 or higher to donate. And once you pass the iron test with your blood, then they will leave you alone with a laptop for however long it takes you to answer the questions. There's, I want to say, like 30, but they're like pretty straightforward. Like, have you been out of the country in the past 5 years? Have you gotten a tattoo recently? Have you had any piercings recently? Stuff like that. So pretty basic, straightforward questions that are answered relatively quickly. And then when you finish with that, you flip over the sign, and the nurse will come back and check your answers, just to make sure that, you know, you can still give blood. And then they'll take you back to a chair, and you can either just sit up, or they can put you in a reclining position. I like the reclining position personally, because that way, you know, I'm not really as tempted to look at my arm when they put the needle in, because that part just kind of creeps me out. So they'll take your blood pressure again. They'll ask you if you're allergic to iodine, which if you are, they have an alternative. But if you aren't, then they'll use the iodine swabs to thoroughly clean the area. And then they'll put the needle in, which really doesn't hurt that much, in my opinion. Like, it stings a little bit, but it doesn't, like, hurt. And if you're one of those people like me who gets, like, freaked out by the needle, by seeing the needle in your skin, they put a cotton swab over the top anyway, so it's not, so it's not like you have to look at it. And even if you do, like, accidentally glance there, you'll see the cotton swab and then the tube with your blood. But that process, the process of giving, I mean, they'll have you squeeze a ball a few times to get your blood flowing, and then once it gets flowing, then that part takes probably 10 minutes. And then once you're done, they'll put a Band-Aid on it and wrap that adhesive stuff on your arm, and give you a sheet of information that tell you what to do after you donate, and just to thank you for donating. And then they'll send you to the recovery area, where you get to just sit down and chill out for 15 minutes and have a snack and eat something, drink something, and talk with other people, which is pretty fun. And then when you're done there, that's it. I mean, that's the whole process. A few things they do recommend if you give blood, as far as do's and don'ts for after you donate. They recommend drinking an extra 8 ounces of liquid the day you donate, and they recommend avoiding heavy exercise, heavy lifting, and alcohol for like 24 hours after you donate. So, but it's a really easy process and a really great thing to do. So that's the process and the requirements for if you live in the United States. I'm not sure what it is what it is in the UK or anywhere else in the world, but I know that Charlieissocoollike did a video, and I will put a link to it in the description, that talks about donating blood in the UK. So if you're in the UK, that information might be more relevant to you. I'll also put a link in the description to the Red Cross's website if you want more information or to find a blood drive going on near you. So that's it for now, and thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys later. So stay nerdy. Bye.